glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem. Alright, so Lakia had technical difficulties, so I'm going to redo the salute and opening to the video. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great Milsom, which rule well. And peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, which hold their conduct, composure, and integrity, standing fast and stiffly, firmly, for the true and only name of the Heavenly Father, who the world annually called God. Alright, the Heavenly Father being Yahweh. Alright, Yahweh is the true name and the only name. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to the name of Yahweh. Alright, and then you have the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Nevertheless, Yahweh Shai is the true and only name to the Son of Yahweh. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are the true and only names. Alright, call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, now this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 34. It says, take therefore no thought for the morrow. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this out, I don't know if you've seen, I mean, I'm pretty sure those that watch my videos, you've seen my production in the last few weeks. It's been low, and usually we don't, us man, we're not gonna, sit here and tell you of our problems, of what we're actually going through, unless, to be edifying. But the reason why I want to bring out why my production was low in, these past few weeks, and what I, just commonly observed while business, which is, this truth. I know y'all saw me a couple of weeks ago with the bros, capping. But other than that, my video production was a little low. Bros up here know why. But I'll go ahead and tell you, I ended up having a back injury, man, that ended up actually even being off my job for 2 weeks for. And I told them, and I told the doctor, to be honest, like, look, man, I need like a month and a half off of work. But this job, man, and all other jobs are the exact same way. They try to find a way to not pay you, and I can't afford to not work. I couldn't even afford the couple of weeks I was off. So, but I took 2 weeks off. The doctors were trying to prescribe me all type of bullshit, and it was painful. I'll just tell you that. It was really painful. It was very uncomfortable. I could barely walk, and, it just sucked. Well, the following Monday, after the second week that I had been off of work, I returned to work. But that same Monday, I ended up getting pneumonia. Coughing up blood, and we've all coughed up blood in our life, some type of splatter or whatever. So when I tell you that I was coughing up blood, it was far more different than that. And it was, the cough was fucking ridiculous, man. So it was just, what I had been doing was just really bad bronchitis and pneumonia. What was it? I had the bacterial pneumonia a couple years ago. That's, for those that have been around and y'all see my videos for the last few years, that's why my voice was gone. And really, I can actually recall a specific time, starting in 2013, I started getting sick a lot more than what I used to get ever in my life. You know, and the brother that I was with down with in Texas when I was teaching, it was so bad that he thought I was, you know, kind of lying. And that's not to put the man, you know, under scrutiny or anything like that, or look at him in a certain way. This is for experience, man, you know, because I was so sick so often, you know. And so I ain't gonna lie, man, I had gotten sick for a little bit up, you know, until I got pneumonia here recently, a week off. And, you know, Tawadi Yahweh Shemiel Shai, you know, I put the necessary things I need to with the herbs and things to give me energy and, you know, juicing and all that. And it's like my body is trying to lag. It's trying to really tug at me. And, you know, I just feel really fucking gassed out, you know, despite what I'm doing and feeling like I'm better, you know. But so from past experiences, man, I took the time to heal. All right, you know, it's just, you know, I'm not trying to make a video full of coughing and hacking and, you know, spitting up and everything. So, you know, you know, like I said, my production was low, and I was just taking the time to heal. But within this past week, I've been back at work, and even the week before I came back to work, but it was pretty awful, man. Like, you know, I won't lie, last Thursday it was so bad. My strength was so bad, like so bitten and little, that I, like, if I could have been, if you know how they say I don't think I'm gonna make it, like if I could have like chose to not make it that day, I would have not made it because of how fatigued and dragging it was. It was really bad, man. Like even at work, like it was just really bad. So anyways, the whole purpose to this is why I'm telling this is because while I sit still and know that the Lord is nothing changed while I was taking the time to heal. Within America, within these people, within what the Heavenly Father told us would be happening or being performed while He worked. Because like I took 3 weeks, man, to heal. And even at that, my back is still, you know, very, what do you call it, delicate? It's very delicate still. And I'm actually being forced right now to have to use it because, again, like I said, I got to work, you know. I'm just relying on Yahweh Shemiel Shai to have mercy and, you know, help me get through the day and making sure I don't. And I'm letting people know my job, like, I was like, you ain't making me bend like that. I was like, you can, you know, you can have him do it and I'll do this part, you know. But they all, they're cool with it, they understand, you know. So the Wadi Yahweh Shemiel Shai for that, man. But within all this, you know, being injured, being sick, you know, coming around again to try to, you know, push that production of content, you know, for Yahweh Shemiel Shai, you know, which is, you know, edifying according to the words of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemiel Shai. That's why I said content, because what we produce is necessary and required. All right, and we do it specifically for the commandment that Yahweh, all right, the Heavenly Father, the Lord of hosts, the King of Kings, right, the Creator of the heaven and universe and the earth, He commanded us, men, to do these things. But so, all in all, as I was looking around on the internet again, you know, YouTube cruising for brothers' videos and seeing what I could watch and see anything I've missed, or you know, what's going on in the world, nothing changed. You know, that's the funny thing about it, and that's why I thought about, you know, Matthew the 6th chapter about Tomorow. You you think that things would, you think that we, with what's coming, it might be easier. Because I was coming back and I was like, God damn, man, it's like, it's so much chaos, man. It's so much noise in this time. While we wait for the return of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, it was like nothing got better. Nothing got better, man. While you have this devil Esau, which is a so-called white man, while you have him speaking falsehood and lying to the people daily, and now the common people, the common class, even them today, every day are like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is lies. He's lying. I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, nothing changed. And that's crazy because this is going to be how it's going to be to the very end. Excuse me. But so, let me read, because while I was talking about what I was dealing with for the past few weeks and what I'm seeing now, Matthew 6:34, it says, take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Because while I was trying to push content and I was just, not able to, I was not here to justify myself, but, those that have understanding and can understand, like, what I'm saying. There are sometimes in this truth, man, you get really out of it, man. And sometimes you do need to, sit and you don't doing is really trying to make sure that you can keep it while you take this moment to breathe and heal. There's actually been other times too in the past where I actually had to do this. I actually injured my back. I threw it out a couple of years back. And I'm also finding out that because I finally had a doctor to do X-rays and what have you, and they telling me that I got the L and the L's on my back that I got, man. You got L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and 4 of them got fucking arthritis, man. I was like, what kind of world you think we live in? I was like, I had to use this thing, man. And it's funny because on Tuesdays our job has these safety meetings every Tuesday about some fucking topic of safety. And it's funny how this past Tuesday, our safety meeting was about proper lifting and how the most common injury on a job in the world is the back. And it's crazy because you had sayings in the past like, they work your ass to death, I'm not gonna break my back for this job. And it's like, man, Esau will make you break your fucking back for work, minimal wage work at that. And it's like, man, what did this place really come to? We know what it came to, but I'm just rhetorical question, Like, there's so much that happened in this time under Esau's watch that it's ridiculous, And it was like while I was watching, while I was taking the time to heal, nothing got better, And I was examining something, man, last night. And that's why ultimately I wanted to make this lesson, because I was watching and, I got a little emotional with what I was watching. And at a moment I thought, man, you would think that what's coming would be easier because of all the bullshit that we've had to deal with now. And I was thinking, I was like, man, I don't know which one would be easier. And I speak as a fool and I speak as a man when I say it, because what's coming is going to be very difficult. All right, it was made to eliminate all those that have no integrity and no wits behind them. It's made to destroy them, And so, but Man, I was thinking about all the bullshit that I've had to deal with, man. I'm thinking about all the bills I gotta pay, all the shit that I'm gonna be behind because I didn't work, you know, and I was just looking at like what's coming, and like, man, to be honest, in Jacob's Trouble, full-fledged Jacob's Trouble, martial law, you know, the chip being pushed. You think we're gonna have to worry about a car payment when that time comes? Fuck no. You know, you think we're gonna have to worry about paying our electric bill and our water bill, our gas bill, phone bill, internet, gas, you know? You think we have to worry about that shit when the time comes for Jacob's Trouble and Esau's wrath is coming down? Hell no. But then again, we're gonna have to worry about needing, you know, some type of source to help heat up, you know, maybe, you know, because hey, we got, you know, if we find the canned goods with beans, we ain't gonna worry about it. But you get what I'm saying? But it's like, man, like, which one's gonna be easier? And I was thinking, you think what's coming would be easier because, man, I ain't gonna have to worry about none of this shit when Jacob's Trouble happens. Yeah, we're gonna be worried about our life every single day, but man, at least like it transitioned from fucking $130, you know, $200 phone bill to, you know, $400, $500 car payment, and, you know, worried about the system coming at you because you didn't make a certain payment and they try to arrest you or some shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I was thinking about for the morrow has its evil for its own self. The evil is sufficient for the morrow. You know, we're taking it one day at a time. You know, and it's getting to a point. Excuse me. It's getting to a point where, you know, I don't know how to say it. You know, we're gonna, you know, a lot of the stuff that we've, you know, killed ourselves for and worried ourselves for, and I'm talking highly stressed ourselves over, man. It's not gonna matter sometime here soon. And, you know, it's like, is it a good thing or a bad thing, man? But really, it is gonna be a good thing, man, because we've tried to teach, you know, you brothers within this ministry, those that listen, that ultimately none of this matters. And right now it feels like it, man. There's such a pull and a grip from this world that you actually believe that stuff that you do right now matters. Now, while it does matter for the purpose of experience, it really doesn't matter because all of this is gonna melt away. It's gonna pass away. The scriptures tell you that the fashion of this life passeth away. You know. But pretty soon, none of this is gonna matter, man. And that's, you know, you should take joy in that. But you should also, you know, take heed because we're waiting for the time of Yahweh Shem Yahshua to start working where, you know, all this is gonna have to be, you know, we're gonna have to be worried about our next steps, you know, and the evil is sufficient for itself of that day. We have enough to worry about now, because that's what I was thinking, you know. I was like, man, you think it would be better, it's going to be easier with what's coming, but you know what? Tomorrow has enough evil sufficient for itself. When that time comes, trust me, we're going to be wondering too at that time, like, man, was it easier back then? Was it easier while we were fighting the fight before it happened? Or shit, is it easier, you know, could it possibly lighten up soon, you know? We know the ultimate, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be lightened and it will be better. It's, you know, the return of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But until then, every single day we have a fight and we have to worry about what's going on now. Well, you know, I say that it sounded hypocritical because it says worry not. Yeah, we don't worry, but at the same time, we're taking heed and we're on alert all the time. But it's just something I wanted to say, man, while I drive. You know, Lord willing, I can do a part 2 because as you can see, I'm getting to my job. You know, but Lord willing, you understand right now what I'm talking about. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great Bill, so much rule well. All right, peace and blessings to the Akim. All right, to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, until the next one, all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem.